Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, my name is Josh, and in today's video I'm going to be reviewing the Miles & More World Elite Mastercard. So I will be going over the main features of this card, its pros as well as its drawbacks. So hopefully by the end of this video you'll have a much better idea of whether or not this credit card is a good fit for you. But before we go ahead and dive into the main features of this card, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Plus, if you would like to receive up to $10,000 in free stocks, in a pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Moomoo. All you have to do is once you click on that link is just sign up for a free account and then deposit at least $100. At that point, Moomoo will be sending you at least 7 free stocks worth all the way up to $10,000. Okay, so diving right into the main features of the Miles & More World Elite Mastercard. First off, we're going to be talking about points or miles and how you can earn them with this card. So you will be earning 2 miles per dollar spent on ticket purchases for Miles & More, whether that be through Lufthansa Airlines or one of its partners. And then on all other transactions, you will be earning 1 mile per dollar spent. Now with this card, there's also going to be a spend bonus as well. So as long as you're able to spend at least $3,000 within the first 90 days of having this credit card, you're going to be receiving a spend bonus of 50,000 miles. Oh, and then of course, on top of that, you must also pay your annual fee within the first 90 days as well. Now, as far as how you can redeem these miles, you will have pretty much a couple of different options. So you're going to be able to redeem them for flight awards and upgrades on Lufthansa, Austrian Airlines, Brussels Airlines, Swiss, Star Alliance Airlines, and their other partners. With this card, you can also receive some other benefits as well. So just for an example, you will be receiving 2 complimentary Lufthansa Business Lounge vouchers annually, which you can enjoy. And then on top of that, you can also receive a companion ticket after each account anniversary as well. Now keep in mind that taxes and fees are going to apply to that companion ticket. So now that we went over the main features of this card at this point in time, we're going to go ahead and dive into the APR and fees, because of course this is also super important as well. So starting out on purchases, your interest rate is going to be anywhere between 21.24 to 29.99% based on your credit worthiness. Then as far as balance transfers go, they actually have a promotional APR on those. As long as you complete your balance transfer within the first 45 days, your promotional APR on those is going to be 0%. That's going to be for the first 15 billing cycles. So perhaps right now, if you have another credit card out there where you're paying a lot of interest on a month-to-month basis, maybe even hundreds of dollars because you have a high balance and a very high interest rate on that balance, you could always consider transferring the balance from that card over to this card. And as long as you're able to do that within the first 45 days, again, your interest rate on that balance is going to be 0% for the first 15 billing cycles. However, you will definitely want to make sure that it is paid off in full before your 15 billing cycles are up, because after the 15 billing cycles are up, at that point, your interest rate is going to shoot right back up to anywhere between 21.24 to 29.99% based on your credit worthiness. Then as far as cash advances go on this channel, we normally recommend to stay far away from cash advances. This, of course, should not be considered financial advice, just my own personal reasons. Usually with them, you have to pay a very high interest rate plus a lot of fees as well. But if you do decide to take out a cash advance with this card, just know that your interest rate on them is going to be a whopping 29.99%. plus a lot of fees as well, which we are going to dive into right now. So as far as the fees go, starting out on cash advances, your fee on those is going to be either $10 or 5% of the amount of each cash advance. So just for an example, if you do a cash advance of $300, in that case, the 5% is going to be the greater of the two, and your fee in that case is going to be $15 on top of the 29.99% APR, which is definitely going to, cost you a lot of money in that regard. Then as far as balance transfers go, your fee on each balance transfer is going to be either $5 or 5% of the amount of each balance transfer. And once again, if you complete a balance transfer, make sure that it is done within the first 45 days. That way you can take advantage of the 0% interest rate on them for the first 15 billing cycles. That could definitely save you a lot of money as long as you pay it off in full before the 15 billing cycles are up. Then as far as foreign transaction fees go, a big pro with this card is the fact that there are no foreign transaction fees. So if you do happen to travel abroad, if you travel internationally, this is a card you can definitely take with you and continue using, and you won't be charged anything extra, at least with this credit card. Whereas with some of the other credit cards out there on the market, believe it or not, they do have a foreign transaction fee of right around 3%. So that's one of the good things about this card. However, there are some other fees with this card you'll definitely need to keep in mind. So like for late or return payments, there is going to be a late or return payment on this card, a fee of up to $40. Now, if you happen to pay late for the first time, maybe even the second time, you could always try calling into Barclays, who is the card issuer of this card, and ask if they will waive that for a first or second time convenience. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't, but I really wouldn't even test your luck, so perhaps you might want to set up auto pay, mark your calendars, do whatever works best for you. Make sure that you are not paying late. That way you can avoid that $40 fee altogether. And then the final fee that you'll have to keep an eye out on is going to be that annual fee that's going to be billed to you annually. The annual fee with this card is going to be $89. So that's something you're going to have to assess each and every year, whether or not renewing this card and keeping it around and not canceling it is going to be worth it for you. If you're going to be getting at least $89 back in value, and probably even more than $89 back in value to make it worth it to pay that $89 annual fee. So now that we went over the main features of this card as well as the APR and fees, at this point in time, I'm going to go ahead and cover what I consider to be the best things about this credit card and the worst things about this credit card. So we're going to start out with the best things. Starting out is going to be the fact that you can earn those 50,000 miles as a spend bonus as long as you're able to spend at least $3,000 within the first 90 days of having this credit card, and then of course paying the annual fee along with it, which is going to be once again $89. So if you're able to achieve that, you will be receiving the 50,000 mile spend bonus. Then on top of that, you're also going to be receiving the 2 complimentary Lufthansa Business Lounge vouchers after each account anniversary. You're also going to be receiving the 1 companion ticket after each account anniversary. You're going to have the 0% interest rate on the balance transfers for the first 15 billing cycles as long as you're able to complete that within the first 45 days. And then also with this card, there are no foreign transaction fees. So those are the best things about this credit card. As far as the drawbacks go, of course, the first one is that annual fee of $89. So this is a card that is not going to be free to have each and every year. Once again, you're going to have to evaluate whether or not those anniversary bonuses are going to be worth offsetting what you have to pay in terms of the annual fee. Are you going to fly enough with Lufthansa Airlines and their partners to make it really worth it? Then, of course, you can only redeem your miles on Lufthansa Airlines and its partners as well. So do you fly those airlines enough to make it worth it for you? That's the same question I asked just a second ago. And then finally, as far as earning miles with this card, once again, you're going to be earning 2 miles per dollar spent on Lufthansa Airlines and their partners. And then on all other transactions, you're only going to be earning 1 mile per dollar spent. So you're not going to be able to rack up a lot of miles with this card, and the 1 mile per dollar spent on all other transactions is definitely on the low end there. So just to sum things up, all in all, for the first year alone, just because you can earn that spend bonus of 50,000 miles, it's more than likely going to be worth it for most people as long as you take advantage and take a flight with Lufthansa or one of their partners. However, for the second year moving forward, you're really going to have to make a personal decision for you and figure out whether or not it's going to be worth renewing for the second year, third year, fourth year, and moving forward. But that's all we have for this review. I certainly hope that you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate it if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.